Fresh, break down. Everybody know what I'm trying to do now. Hold it down for my hometown. Profound when it comes to doing me because I do it easily and it pleases me. How? So focused, mind open. Behold, a man with a motive, soaking in a depth of my own ocean, hoping that the whole world gets a notion. I've been waiting for this minute for a minute, now I got it out my golf in a moment. Size mode, can't sugarcoat it. Beast mode, can't control it. Hold up, if you're looking for me right here, with a pen I'm in hand to make it all clear that I gotta do it bigger and better and piecing the puzzle together for the people that never bled up. So fed up with the bullshit, me too. Like the world got a vendetta against you. Ain't no superhero coming for the rescue unless you ask me to do it, then I bless you. But wait, never too late. Take a deep breath, let it all marinate because the second that I do, I embrace my fate and I gotta make a move because I am that great. All I want is all of y'all to ponder. A better man willing to take his dream farther, but all the other didn't even try to bother. Start up the engine until we restarted. Pardon me, moment doesn't happen often, so while we here, let's enjoy it and applaud it. Take a second before the night becomes morning and tell those to distrust ahead and blown. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I hear them calling. I remember when my days were so unsure, not knowing what I'm living on this earth for. Now I know that I am what that us for. Plus more, representing Prince George for awards. Like the little nigga standing at the bus stop, scared cause he fears that he's near to a gun pop. Headphones in his head, disappears from this world for your peers in the realm of the hip hop. Just watch how we turn this whole life around. When everybody tried to tell him he was hellbound, but he smiles now, knowing he's the reason for the powwow. Bow down to the brother on the cloud. Okay, that's what they say when they see me on the stage. Written on the page, take a rave in the rave. So I'm living here right now, like it's my last day. Hey, mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Break down, down, down. Oh no, oh no. Break down, down, down. Oh no, oh no. Hey, mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive. I think they ready for me. I think they calling for me. I think they waiting for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling for me. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I hear they calling. Mind open, eyes closed, my journey, my road, my drive, my goal. I think they waiting for me. I think they calling for me. I hear them calling for me. I hear them calling. I hear them calling.
Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Higgins Fitness and More Show. Are you all ready for this week or what? So, got some really cool stuff, very interesting story. I mean, the story isn't cool, but it's definitely a survivor story. It's definitely one that will make you think and hopefully help you to make better health decisions in your life. February, as we know, is like go red for a few different reasons, right? But we have Women's Health Month and Women's Heart Health Month as well. So we're going to take a look. So I got on my red today, all right, to go and take a look at some things and hear a very interesting story of a survivor of heart disease, okay? For, like nutrition, let me tell you guys something real funny. So you remember last week I said that I was, I bought an eggplant and I was going to make a meal out of it. I was going to figure something out, right? So again, I'm new and I'm learning some things to this pescatarian, vegan / lifestyle, and my poor little eggplant has shriveled up already. Like I don't know the lifespan or the shelf life of an eggplant, or how to test its ripeness or anything like that. So, needless to say, the eggplant didn't happen this week. That meal didn't happen. So we're gonna try it again, either this week or next week, and see how it goes. Because I was really hoping to have a story for you guys with this eggplant, but I have nothing because I'm so busy. I didn't do it immediately, I guess, or whatever. Anyway, next week or sometime soon, we'll get the whole eggplant story, all right? So that's your nutrition for the week. Yeah, I didn't want to keep that long. Actually, I want to get right into this story. But only thing before that, I had a few clients this week that are struggling with their eating habits. And here's a real simple fix. I mean, it's not... I understand it's difficult if you've never done it, but meal prep and thinking ahead, if you do that in life with your bills, with your career, so forth, you need to also do that with your health, okay? So what you take in. For example, I know that today was my super long day. Excuse me, I had to get up, of course, but I had to get up and go to the gym. I had a few clients to train this morning. Then I had to switch up and follow up with some things for the show. So this is moving around different areas of town. I had to come here. I also have another appointment right after this. So, one thing for sure, if you're stopping off and picking up food along the way, you're eating a whole lot of stuff that you don't know about. Okay, I'm talking some. The cheaper the food, the more convenient the food, probably the worse it is for you. Okay, and not only that, but if you spend $7 to $8 or you're spending like $10 a day just eating out or just eating along the way. Most people spend really. I had a client tell me that he ate out breakfast and lunch, and then home was whatever he had, and I'm just like, okay. So you want to focus on your health, but these decisions affect you. You don't know how to cook. You don't control what you are ingesting. That's a big problem, okay? Big problem because you can't control anything. So you think you're working out super hard and you're on a certain caloric intake or whatever, and you're eating crap. It's that simple, right? So go get you a little lunchbox. I'm going to show you mine real quick. Real old school. It's old. It's beat up. You know what I mean? But guess what? It works. Okay, this is what I carry my food in. That's tea over there. That's tea right there. It's nothing bad, okay? Tea bags, that's it. All right, so just do something, like that. I load it up every day when I go out. If I don't eat everything, that's fine. But at least I know what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body, and I'm not spending all that unnecessary cash, right? So that's your nutrition for the week. I just want to get into this story, right? So, give me 1 second and we'll get that going. But so yeah, one of the like I said, we are with the in honor of Women's Health Month. I want to share a story with you guys by a very dear and old friend of mine. Sharon Gilmore is her name now, and she has experienced a pregnancy-induced heart failure situation. All right, so we're going to take a quick view of the video to introduce her before, and we're going to go deeper into her story and get her question, or get your questions if you have them for her, okay, guys? All right, so what I'm going to do here now is go ahead and share that story. We're going to all watch it together.
Says she never had any issues with her heart until her third pregnancy. She told doctors she felt tired and had a hard time breathing.
They were chalking it up to that it's the pregnancy, and I'm like, no, something else is wrong here.
After getting a test,
Our heart can often get overlooked. A delay in diagnosis can often be deadly. Our Brianna Connor introduces us to one woman who took her symptoms seriously despite some doctors telling her otherwise.
For the 10th year, Novant Health is partnering with the Triad American Heart Association to put a focus on women's heart health during the month of February. There are 4 Go Red women being honored this year. I talked with one of them who says she wants to share her story to let women know they may be in danger and not even know it.
A lot of us don't know to get things checked.
Sharon Gilmore says she never had any issues with her heart until her 3rd pregnancy. She told doctors she felt tired and had a hard time breathing.
They were chalking it up to that it's the pregnancy, and I'm like, no, something else is wrong here.
After getting a test called an echocardiogram, she found out there definitely was something wrong.
I had postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is a pregnancy-induced heart failure.
Gilmore's health went downhill fast, and eventually she had to get a device surgically implanted to keep her heart pumping, called an LVAD. She had it removed 4 years ago, and with support from her family, along with lifestyle changes, she's still fighting.
When I post pictures and stuff, I always say our hearts matter too, because it's not just cancer and everything else. You got to get your heart checked. We can fight cancer all day long, but you can't do anything if you don't have a heart.
As a Go Red woman this year, she's sharing that message along with the Triad American Heart Association and doctors at Novant Health.
We've done a great job over the years trying to get the message out to women, but we still have a long ways to go, and so I don't think it's time to stop.
Dr. Robert Prelli says women need to know the signs, know their risks, and realize that a bad diagnosis doesn't have to be a death sentence.
With all these new technologies now, people are living longer. Again, we have a lot more options for people.
Dr. Prelli and Gilmore agree heart disease may bend women, but with awareness and action, they will not break. In Winston-Salem, I'm Brianna Connor, WXII 12 News.
All right. Good job. Good job. So let's give her a call. Let's see what's going on, all right? Was that party music? I mean, we can do that again if we need to. I was just playing, guys. So we're going to get her on the line here. Bear with us here. Technology is great, but it sometimes it fails us, Is there a barrier? And it's coming up. All right. Let's see.
Hello.
Sharon.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Great. So our viewers just finished watching the video clip from the news channel that featured you in this Go Red movement, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So awesome. So let's just go right in. I mean, so this came on prior. So this came on at a time when you were, because it says something about your pregnancy there. So is it a pregnancy-induced heart failure? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's called postpartum cardiomyopathy, and it is a pregnancy-induced heart failure that can occur towards the end of the pregnancy and sometimes even after the baby has been born. Your heart becomes enlarged and you go through a series of difficulties, shortness of breath, fatigue, and things like that.
Okay. And you had 2 babies prior to that, correct?
Yep.
And you had
right.
you had 2 babies prior to that, and you had no prior health problems?
No, none at all. The last one was my daughter, and it came out of nowhere. I mean, I had noticed the symptoms that, this is my 3rd pregnancy, so I know what it's like to be tired and things like that. But this was a different kind of tired. It was literally like taking a marathon just to go to the bathroom, to climb in your bed at night. It was just so draining. I could barely do it.
Okay, and so then you said, okay, doc, there's something going on.
Yeah, yep.
And then what happened through that process?
Well, we initially found out when I was 7 months pregnant with her. Okay. So, of course, we panicked because we got to get her out of there. You know, if we don't get her out, I'm going to die, she's going to die, and nobody wants that. So we go through speeding the process up so I can deliver, but the main concern here is to deliver without putting a strain on my heart.
Right.
So when I the delivery room, it just looked like mass chaos because we had NICU, labor and delivery, cardiology over here, and it's just that everybody was there.
Had a whole football team, huh?
I was sick.
So you had a whole football team in the operating room.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah. So after that, typically, you know, your heart is supposed to go back to its normal size. After a brief period of medication therapy, but that didn't happen for me.
Okay, so what happened into the next few months?
Well, a few months after that, I had been treated with numerous medications, but my heart function had continuously declined. Okay. So when I was probably about 6 or 7 months after she was born, I had to get a defibrillator implanted because I was in danger of going into cardiac arrest at like any time. So this was the first thing, you know, that they tried to do, and everything just continuously went downhill. And I kept going to the doctors, and I'm like, something else is going on here. And they're like, oh, no, you're fine. And I'm like, no, you know, I don't feel fine.
So, and you were how old at this point?
I was like 29, 30.
So you're 29, 30, and you go to the doctor, and you're telling them that something's wrong with your heart at this young age and needing a defibrillator, and they're still kind of just like, nah, you're okay?
Yep. And what I've learned, like, because my daughter will be 8 in March. So I've been fighting this disease for 8 years.
Wow.
And what I've learned is you really have to be your own advocate. If you yourself know that something does not feel right, I don't care how many doctors you have to go to. You have to do it because you are the one that's experiencing those things, not them. So I did get a second opinion, and by the time I had got the second opinion, it was too late. Like, this guy was like, you're going to die. You have about a month left in you, and there's nothing more here that we can do for you. You know, he had referred me to another hospital in the area that specialized in cardiac issues, and I didn't even get a chance to make the appointment because by the end of that week, I was in the hospital again. And after that, my function was about 5%.
Your heart function.
A normal person's function is about 70 to 75. Somebody with cardiac history is about 60 to 65. So here I am with 5%.
Wow.
And I'm barely clinging to life.
Wow. At 5%.
And that's when I learned about the device known as the LVAD.
Okay.
And it's basically an electronic device that's implanted in you, and it pumps your heart for you.
Okay.
So you have to wear.
So so it pumps the heart for you. So explain. So I just want the viewers to be in mind that. So here you are, just had a baby girl, had to have her early, diagnosed with this heart failure. And now the only thing, now your heart is down to 5% functioning.
Right.
And they tell you have to get this LVAD. Explain to me what's going through your head at this point, because you have 3 babies at home, just had a new girl and a husband. So what's going through your head at this point?
Well, at this point, I'm afraid. Like, I'm definitely afraid. They showed my husband and I what the device looked like, how it would function once it was implanted. And I'm looking at this thing like, I don't know where you're going to put all these pieces and parts, but I don't think they're going to fit. So I was afraid, and then I still thought I had a choice. So
Okay.
I was like, no, I don't want that. You know, what else do we have to offer? And probably about my third day in there was nothing else to offer. They were like, if we don't implant this right now, you're not going to make it through the night. My liver and my kidney function had begun to shut down like I was dying. So that device essentially saved my life.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. And you're just hitting 30, and this is what's going on.
Yep.
So this device that you said has all these pieces and everything like that. How did that within itself change your life and the life of your family?
Well, it changes a whole lot because you have to adjust everything.
Okay.
We, as people, take advantage of small things like being able to jump in the shower midday. Well, guess what? In order for you to get in the shower, if you have an LVAD, you have this shower bag, and you have to put every piece in there, zipping it on up, and it's like taking a shower with a purse on.
Wow.
And, you know, like, it was so weird to do that my husband would stand outside the tub and hold the bag so that I was free to wash, you know,
Wow.
without holding this bag. Yeah, it was crazy. The kind
Go
of stuff
husband.
that you figure out. Yeah. But not only that, you have to, you know, of course, no metal detectors. So flying and traveling is very difficult because you have a home unit too. So not only are you traveling with the batteries that make it portable, you have to take this home thing with you, and then they give you like this battery pack that's like 15 hours or so long, and that is in the event that the power goes out, because if you're hooked up to that thing and the power goes out, you're gone.
Wow.
You know, yes, you.
Dang.
When I say you are literally living on batteries, you are living on batteries.
Man,
And
crazy.
it shook my family because my kids knew if they heard that alarm, it's an alarm that beeps 15 minutes before the battery dies. If they heard that alarm, you literally saw everybody scrambling around trying to run into the battery chargers so that I could change my batteries out.
Wow. So
like,
this
that's
is
how much of a dependency you have on it. Like, it's literally keeping you alive.
wow.
It's supposed to be a bridge to transplant, but some people, elderly people, they're too old for transplants, so they literally have to wear this thing for the rest of their lives. Then some people choose not to get transplants and just wear the LVAD. And then some people who want transplants, but they don't qualify, you know, to get one, because there's so many different rules and guidelines and things like that can prevent you from being listed. So I think it's awesome that they have devices like these, so we can try to prevent, you know, anyone from losing their life.
So not only that, not only the fact that you had to make all these accommodations, your family's making all these, your kids, everybody's looking out for this alarm, right?
Right.
And then too, so this, you said part of the device is implanted in you and also runs on the outside because it has to connect, right?
Right. So you have like a line, they call it a drive line, that comes out of your stomach on the right-hand side, and that line is connected to the power pack. So you can see that line, like it's just hanging out there, but it's covered by bandage. And what you have to do is create a sterile environment every day. My husband would have to glove up, put his face, put a mask on, cover his clothes and everything, so that he could wash the areas and then rebandage it up. And I remember every time he did that, I cried, because I was just like, it didn't quite come, you know, I didn't understand why this was even happening. And, you know, you go through a series of emotions. You're grateful that you're still here, but now you're looking and you're like, what is all this attached to me? it's heavy. It doesn't come off like you don't get a break.
Jesus. And so yeah, you're feeling because you didn't even want him to have to do that for you, right? My goodness.
Because you get married and you hear in sickness and in health, but let's be realistic. None of us really think that anything's going to happen to our spouses. We just know this is something that we say.
Yeah.
But when it actually kicks in and it happens, the first thing that goes through your mind is, hey, he didn't really sign up for this. Or he did, but not of this magnitude, so.
It's like you didn't think it was going to be like this.
Right.
I was talking about the cold and the flu.
And I'm like, you should have became a nurse afterwards because, like, everything that he had to do, is they taught him how to do it. And I remember when we were in the hospital, I literally was in and out, because of the sedation and medication. And he learned that thing backwards and forwards. All I knew that is if the red light went off, that was bad. So call the doctor then. But I was like, I'm scared when you're not here because I wasn't paying attention when they taught you how to,
to do that.
This thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. But I'm sure that bond definitely made you guys stronger. Y'all probably unstoppable now, huh?
Yeah, and I still, like I said, I still battle with this disease. So even now, my family has grown, where everybody is a lot older. My son was like 10 then, and now he's like 16. So if I do have to go in, it's like a well-oiled machine now because we've already known the hardship of it the first time.
Right.
So my husband is at work. My son picks his brother and his sister up from school, and he gets everything ready until his dad comes home. And that's how we move. It's like they don't skip a beat, even though I may not be here. They still know, to continue on. And it's sad that they had to learn that at that age, but
it's all that makes it stronger. Yeah, those kids will be mature and well before their years because of this. They'll be strong. So it is. We all have our stories, and we all have our stuff. But that's a part of our health too.
Right.
So
and I always say that people we really have to start asking to be screened. Because this stuff just came out of nowhere. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't have any history of heart disease in my family or any of that stuff. So now I try to encourage people, and I'm like, you have to get your heart checked. You have to get your heart screened because those little, it's different types of cardiomyopathy. It's congenital heart disease. It's different forms of heart disease.
Right.
And you never know which one could possibly affect you. We are so trained to go to the doctor to get our boobs checked and everything else that we forget about our heart.
Absolutely.
So, and heart disease kills more women than all forms of cancer combined.
So again, I'm gonna just repeat that. You're saying heart disease kills more women than cancer, than any form of cancer, than all cancers.
All forms of cancer.
Wow, that's a crazy statistic. Wow. I think you hear so many people, and you're right. Then you hear so many people passing from cancer, this, that, and the other. But heart disease is definitely in there. Not only in there, but more than cancer. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
and that's because it's becoming more and more where there are more and more cases because, like I said, we're so trained to check for cancer.
Yeah.
We got it. It's not just breast cancer. We got ovarian cancer. We got uterine cancer. And those are the only things that we're supposed to look at when no, not at all.
Right.
The death toll in women with heart disease has increased because our lack of knowledge.
Wow. Lack of knowledge,
one in
definitely.
Every 3 women die from heart disease. And it's because we don't know to ask or to get it checked.
So what would you tell? question now. So you had well, let's go back a little bit before we go there. You had the LVAD, and you had that for about 4 years implanted, right?
I had the LVAD for a year and a half.
Okay, for a year and a half you had it, and then your heart started to get a lot better, right?
Yes, it actually, had gave my heart the break that it needed.
Okay.
And my function had improved to almost normal numbers.
Gotcha.
When they removed my LVAD, my function was at 60 to 65%, which I said is almost perfect.
Nice. And then so
but what I wasn't told was that 30% of people who get LVADs removed end up needing another LVAD or transplant years down the line.
Okay. And so that's basically where you are now? Is in
yes,
that position?
That's where I am now.
Okay. So in that position.
And when you research the disease that I have, the postpartum cardiomyopathy, it is more common in African American women. And also, it lasts longer in us than non-African American women. For some reason, whatever it is with our genetics, it prolongs, it makes the healing process for us a lot longer if we heal. Because only 50% of African American women, heart functions normally, it goes back to normal. Now, that leftover 20, 30, 40%, those people, which I'm a part of, are the people who end up needing devices or continuing medication. Is that cardiomyopathy is there. It's prolonged. It may get better for a couple months or so, but something else is you build up a tolerance against certain medications, which is what's happening to me, because I've literally tried everything. So it's like you get to a point where some things you can't take because your body has already built up a tolerance against it. And then thank God for new medication, because as the disease changes, more and more things are coming out and you're getting more help than what you were offered 7 years now, 7 years ago.
Yes, absolutely. So, girl, well, I will say this. I can only imagine, for one, girl. But at the same time, to make a positive out of this, you went from being diagnosed with a 5% heart function to 8 years later still being here with us. I'm grateful for that. I mean, you are a survivor for that. I mean, your baby girl is 8. That's gotta feel some kind of good. You know what I mean?
It does. And that's why when my function began to decline a couple months back, it scared me because I didn't want to go back to that point.
Right.
Although now I'm educated and, I know to ask questions. What I also learned is when I say be your own advocate, some doctors don't take too kindly to you even asking questions.
Okay.
And then it comes to how can we treat you if you don't trust us?
Right.
Trust us is built.
Absolutely.
I need to see that you have the same level of care that I would have for myself.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
And a lot of times, you really are battling with these people because, like I said, I think sometimes they forget that this is you, not them.
Yes, absolutely. So what would you say? So you definitely say be your own advocate. Fight for yourself. You got to kind of fight for your rights, for real, right? in all aspects, keep fighting. Would you say to what other advice would you give to women out there who are just kind of either ignorant on it or just, think their health isn't that big of a deal? What would you say to them right now?
I would say not to take anything seriously, because I don't care what kind of ache or pain, if it wasn't something that you had before and it continues more than 2 to 3 weeks, then we need to be going to the doctor to understand what's wrong. Our symptoms as women are different when we have cardiac episodes. They're not like men.
Okay.
So I've been told a story once by my nurse. She had a patient who had pain in her toe, and the lady thought she stubbed her toe on something, and the pain continued to the point where she felt like she had to go to the emergency room, and she ended up finding out that she had a heart attack.
Wow.
In their right mind would put together that your toe hurting is actually you having a cardiac episode.
Wow.
And you don't know it.
And you have no idea. So
Right.
from a
our
toe hurting,
symptoms-
yeah. Wow.
Right.
So
different.
yeah. So just to wrap up here, so you're where you are on the transplant list. We are hoping that those situations improve. Definitely, we'll follow you along your journey. Definitely before the season is out, to catch up to see how things are progressing. We are sending you good vibes for everything, everything going on with you, with your family too. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you that you have that family support there with going through all of this. So
yeah, I always try to tell people whose relatives are suffering from any chronic illness, the biggest thing you can do is be right beside them, because nobody wants to go through anything alone. And people don't understand that. Either someone just coming and sitting in the hospital with you, and you guys watching a couple of shows, that's
everything.
Everything to that person. Yep.
That's everything. And I'm gonna just repeat that again, because a lot of us, a lot of times, we feel like when our loved ones are going through things that we don't know what to do, or we just we freeze up. We it makes us uncomfortable.
Just be there.
But we do need to step outside of ourselves and ask ourselves like what we want. And most of the time, that's all we want is someone that's care enough to sit there with them.
Sit there with you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Sharon, thank you, thank you.
You don't have to bring flowers. You don't have to send a card. Like, you just popping your head in the hospital room and saying, "Hey," because when I got my LVAD taken out, I actually got an infection, and I was in the hospital for 31 days.
Wow.
So just to be in there that long.
Not able to go home, not able to do anything else. Exactly. That's when you need the love and all of that good stuff more. Exactly. So everyone, awesome advice. I hope you guys take heed. Get checked out. If you're feeling some kind of way, do something. If it's something that happened once and you're feeling it more than once or a couple days long, go get it checked out. It's question.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but Burlington is offering free heart screening.
Yes, Burlington Coat Factory is offering free health screens, y'all. Burlington Coat Factory, like, who knew that? Like, so much information is out there. So let's start.
Burlington and Macy's are very big on celebrating February, which is Heart Month, and usually the first Friday in February is National Wear Red Day. And those stores are very big on those because they like to sell those red dresses.
There you go.
That somebody might want to put on.
I only had a red T-shirt. That's all. I ain't had no red dress. I had a red T-shirt, so I got that on right now for y'all.
But you know what? It's your T-shirt. I had somebody send me a picture with them wearing red huaraches, and somebody had on a red watch.
Awesome.
So it's just the effort.
Give me 30 seconds. That is awesome. Well, Sharon, we are out of time today. Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your story. And I'll be posting the show later in about 30 minutes so you can share as well. But listen, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for being here in one more episode for our women, our hearts, our everything. Go Red, all of that. Support, get checked out, all that good stuff, y'all. It's our life. We need it. We need y'all. We need each other. Let's do it, all right? And we are out. And I'll see y'all next time on the Sil Higgins Fitness and More Show.